But some footy is on. Footy
Yes.
is on over the course of the weekend. You got the Kangaroos and Tonga. And I'd like to get your feel on this. Have we put enough emphasis, or has the game put enough emphasis on the fact of this, Pacific Championships that are coming up? Because it just this, you just get through the season,
Yeah, I know.
then you go to the grand final, then they put in a Prime Minister's 13 game. Now we're going into the.
I know, and I get the feel, like a lot of sports fans, you play the grand finals, whether it be the AFL or the NRL, which we've, have seen run and done.
Yes.
And then you sort of roll into Bathurst, and that's your big thing. For more football to be popping up in our faces right now you're right. Is it footy overload? I'm hoping not, because I'm a big fan of the game, a big fan of the international game, and I love what Mal and Bennett has pushed it over the years as well. I mean, with his involvement with other teams, with New Zealand and England, etc. And we will have Christian Wolf on tomorrow, who is facing the biggest time of his life. He's got to get Tonga through this.
Well, he's done a terrific job with Tonga. He actually facilitated a win over Australia over there, if you remember, a number of years ago in New Zealand.
Yeah.
He was head coach then. He's obviously going to take over Wayne's tenure at the Dolphins, so this will be his last sort of opportunity with the Tongan team. And I think from where he first started with the Tongans to where they are right now, it has been an incredible rise. And to have players like your Jason Taumalolos, like your Adam Fanua-Blakes that pledge their allegiance to play for Tonga and make the great, the international game far better, I think only speaks volumes for what Christian Wolf, because he's been the constant. He's been there for a long period of time with some of those players. But they take on the Aussies. Now, the Aussies, Mel's picked we're still yet to find out exactly what the teams are going to look like, but Mel's picked a squad with some youth, some older heads, but also off the back of that, he's picked a team that we can certainly get some traction moving forward. Lindsay Smith comes into that side. He's obviously never played a representative football before. He's been rewarded for what he's been doing, but the Tongans won't be easy. They won't be easy. 30-0 was the last time Australia played. 30-0 loss, that was, in a final to New Zealand. So we'll get a understanding on where Mal and that team is at on Friday night. But, love to hear your thoughts. 13-55. Is the game playing too much football? Are we seeing it too much? Or can we see it at a different stage throughout the season? Yeah,
well, we're going to overload now with this Pacific Championships. As you said, we open up on Friday night with the Gillaroos v the PNG Aucklands. There's been controversy over the Gillaroos side. Then we've got the Kangaroos and Tonga. You've got this following day, you've got Tonga and Samoa in the women. This is in Suva. Fiji and the Kumals also as well. And then you've got the Kiwis v Australia in Christchurch, and a double header, men and women, on October 27th. So there's lots coming up. Finals November 10 in Sydney.
Yeah. So normally when there's big games like this, whether it's Origin series or some semi-final series, I mean, there's just loads of stuff to talk about. There's storylines. There's so many sort of things that we can just sort of talk about off the game. But it just seems as though this Pan champs at the moment, I don't know.
Well, look, they threw up yesterday and they played it smart. Obviously, the PR team with Chris Gary and the likes with. Tommy Dearden spoke, so they went the Queensland angle in Queensland, and it got big exposure on the TV news last night, which was great. And I mean, his combination with Moses, it's going to be all brand new. We know Cleary's in getting the shoulder done, or he's over in the UK at the moment, but he will get the shoulder done. So yeah, look, I think just throwing up the local angles and angles that appeal to the Queensland supporters is going to help put bums on seats.
Yeah, absolutely will. I mean, Queenslanders love their sport, and you got some 2 games, the women's and the men's game. So, it's just interesting. Obviously, the players, when I was playing and you got an opportunity to play for Australia, absolutely would do it. But it has been a long season for some of those players.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to chat to Wolfie, because he's been involved in that. He's Bennett's right-hand man, been Bennett's right-hand man for a while. And now he gets the chance to take over the Dolphins. This, I would imagine, will be his last hurrah with Tonga as he gets to concentrate on his club job full-time. Great bloke.
Terrific
hell of a coach.
He is. I've had a fair bit to do with Wolfie, both as a player and also working alongside him loosely when I retired. But he's got great work ethic. He's a real good he's got this initiative where he wants, and I think I touched on it a number of weeks ago. He wants to bring players 17 to 35, really upskill them so the depth of their club, no matter which player takes its role, will certainly be better for that.
Okay.
But yeah, very experienced and understands very much what's going on.
A couple of things that are going on. I mean, we've just read ad nauseum about Gordy and Madge. I see they've bumped into each other at the NRL Grand Final.
I'm sure I've had a coffee with Gordy.
Yeah, I know the line. You've probably read the line. Madge offered to have a coffee with him. Gordy said, I don't drink coffee. But look, it's been a headline grabbing, but does it mean much at the end of the day? I mean, Madge is there to coach a footy team and drag them out of the doldrums of last season.
Yeah, well, that's right.
That's
I spoke to Madge the other day on the phone for about half an hour, Paddy.
Yep.
He was just asking some questions, getting the lay of the land, understanding the fabric of the Brisbane Broncos. And he would have done that. He is doing this with a lot of the ex-players, former players, captains, etc. Gordy has expressed his thoughts in regards to that, which is fine. And Madge has been very accommodating in that. He said it's okay to have an opinion. That's fine. One thing I do know is winning will solve all problems.
Of course it will.
And if they bounce back to where they should be, the only thing we want to be talking about is how good the Broncos are going, and that's what we want to be talking about.
And we'll have Reece Walsh with no shirt on the front page of the Courier again every day of the week. There we go.
Maybe.
PVL has also confirmed, which, world's worst kept secret, they're going to have a look at what's needed to be done to fix the bunker. You think?
Well, they did. They talked about it having a big overview, and I think that is certainly going to be front and centre. Another thing that's not going to go away, and our sort of colleagues down in Sydney, Greg Alexander, Brandy, has made, and they've talked about the kickoff. And that, obviously the knockouts that we've seen, the collisions, whether that's going to be, a big talking point. Does the game look at altering the kickoff? Do they change that or not? I'm not sure. But there's a lot of things the game needs to look at. And again, love to hear your thoughts. If you've got something that you want to put forward in regards to PVL, well, we can drop him a line and send him a text and see what happens. 13 13 55 0467 736 736.
Is the bunker fixable? I mean, they're all using it. Every major sport now uses VAR or whatever. So the bunker's here to stay. There's no doubt about that.
It's well and truly here to stay. But I think there's some areas where we can have some conversations. When you start using the word discretion and some of the areas that we've seen tries disallowed or allowed, it always makes it very difficult for the punters.
Yep, give us a yell. Suncorp Car Insurance Open Line, 13 13 55, or you can text us on 0467 736 736. The other bit of news coming out yesterday, Jared Hayne, back in professional rugby league circles. He's going to take on a mentoring, sort of assistant coaching role with the Fiji national team.
Yeah, we played, obviously, a number of tests with Fiji Bharti when he was playing, Jared, and they love Jared over there in Fiji, and they've got an opportunity through this champs to put some players where they need to go. It's a great stepping stone for some of those players also, because you get to see some of the household names in the NRL, but also, only a number of seasons ago we saw Sania Taruva bounce onto the scene playing fullback for the Bharti. Now look how he's sort of elevated himself. So it's they're doing well.
Yep.